Trains in Virginia are having a moment, and Amtrak's riding the wave. From bustling new stations to expanded service lines, the state's rail game is stronger than ever. So what's the secret sauce? Buckle up for today's episode of Great Trainspeed as we track the rise of Virginia's railway renaissance. Some good news to kick things off. Virginia's state-supported Amtrak services are riding a real surge in demand as more travelers choose rail over driving or short-haul flights. When the Northeast Regional was extended to Roanoke, demand was so strong that the route turned profitable even before state support, a clear signal that Virginia's rail market is expanding fast. Amtrak's state-supported corridors in Virginia have shown a steady ridership rebound through 2025, with encouraging month-to-month gains across nearly all routes. Total ridership climbed from 106,180 passengers in January to 132,650 in August, marking a 25% overall increase over 8 months. The Roanoke service, which continues to see strong regional demand, started the year with 27,130 riders and held consistent through the summer, peaking at 32,013 in April before stabilizing around 31,000 in August. Meanwhile, Newport News saw gradual month-to-month growth, rising from 29,609 in January to 35,896 in August, reflecting sustained travel interest to and from Virginia's Tidewater region. The Norfolk Corridor remains the system's top performer, consistently leading all routes with nearly half of the total ridership. From 39,288 passengers in January, Norfolk's monthly totals climbed sharply to over 51,000 in August, showing strong recovery and possibly reflecting its link to major population centers and beach season travel. In contrast, the Richmond line, though the smallest by volume, showed modest but steady gains from just over 10,000 passengers in January to 14,259 in August, indicating slow but stable growth potential. From a system-wide perspective, spring and summer months were particularly strong, with totals surpassing 125,000 every month and peaking in August. These figures suggest continued post-pandemic travel normalization, boosted by tourism and improved service reliability. If these trends hold through fall, Amtrak Virginia could end 2025 with one of its strongest ridership years yet, driven by growing confidence in intercity rail as a viable alternative to driving or flying across the Commonwealth. What's driving it? Better reliability, tighter timetables, and growing confidence in the service. At the summer peak, trains to and from Roanoke ran with full cars and added frequency, attracting both commuters and leisure riders. The revenue lift also hints at more premium bookings and longer trips. To keep momentum, upgrades need to match demand, newer rolling stock, modernized stations, and strong on-time performance. Without steady investments in frequency and comfort, growth can level off. The next chapter is about management, expanded schedules, targeted track improvements, and passenger amenities that make the corridor even more competitive. So how are they executing? What's next for Roanoke as it builds on this pace? We'll break it down in the next segment. If this interests you, hit subscribe so you don't miss the updates. The Virginia Passenger Rail Authority, VPRA, aims to promote, sustain, and expand passenger and commuter rail across the Commonwealth. To reconnect Southwest Virginia to statewide Amtrak service, the Commonwealth reached an agreement with Norfolk Southern to extend trains from Roanoke to the New River Valley, NRV, for the first time since 1979, initially studied along the former Virginian line. A June 2022 feasibility study evaluated 5 station sites around the NRV and identified a preferred location on the Blacksburg branch near Christiansburg. During winter 2023 to spring 2024 outreach, quarterly virtual meetings, and stakeholder reviews of refined schedules and budgets, public feedback repeatedly favored keeping service on Norfolk Southern's main line and rebuilding a Christiansburg station at the historic Cambria site. In September 2024, VPRA and Norfolk Southern signed a new agreement granting access to the N line between Roanoke and Christiansburg. As part of the package, VPRA purchased the Manassas Line, giving the Commonwealth more control over future Virginia Railway Express, VRE, and Amtrak Virginia operations. That ownership enables added night and weekend VRE service and more weekday trips, while avoiding extra costs from the earlier concept, such as tunnel safety work and grade crossing upgrades. It also brings earlier Amtrak Virginia service to Christiansburg, Radford University, and Virginia Tech. Norfolk Southern will deliver the key rail facilities, a high-level platform, canopy, sidetrack, and parking in Christiansburg, plus a layover facility in Radford, positioning the NRV for service as soon as 2027. The platform is planned for level boarding at 4 feet above the top of the rail, with a length of 960 feet. Widths are 16 feet along most of the platform and 10 feet in front of the station building. 2 canopies, about 265 feet west side and 406 feet east side, will cover roughly 2/3 of the platform. As a future rider, do these upgrades improve your experience and benefit the region? Drop 1 for yes, 0 if you're not convinced. The New River Valley Passenger Rail Station Authority will lead a separate renovation of the 1906 station building after service begins, with a budget of $73 million. On opening, the site will include 3 bus bays and 143 parking spaces, 137 regular 5 ADA, 1 van accessible ADA, plus a kiss and ride with 5 short-term spaces. VPRA is finalizing timetables, but riders can expect 2 daily round-trip buses at Christiansburg, with provisional arrival windows near 2 p.m. and 11 p.m., and departures around 5:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., subject to change before launch. The platform, canopy, track, layover facility, and parking delivered by Norfolk Southern on VPRA's behalf are funded from multiple state sources. The station building renovation by the NRV Station Authority is expected to blend federal and regional funding. Construction started in January 2025, with service targeted as early as 2027. Fieldwork is advancing on 2 fronts. At Cambria Station, crews cleared and graded the site, built access roads, and constructed a new maintenance of way facility to free the future station footprint. A sheet pile wall now separates active mainline operations from the planned station track. Drainage pipes were installed via jack and bore beneath the railroad without impacting service. Contractors are drilling 100-plus pier foundations for the platform and canopy, installing storm sewers, and excavating for retaining walls. In Radford, the layover yard, where trains will be serviced before turning north, is taking shape. The site is cleared and graded, a sheet pile wall is in place, foundations for light poles are poured with conduits buried, power poles are relocated, and new signals are installed for the future layover tracks. Subballast is down, and materials, rails, cross ties, and switches are staged as crews prepare the track bed. Norfolk Southern is giving the Commonwealth greater control over future Virginia Railway Express, VRE, and Amtrak Virginia operations. With ownership, VRE can plan night and weekend trains and add weekday trips. Today, the corridor hosts 8 weekday VRE round-trip trains and 2 daily Amtrak Virginia round-trip trains. Importantly, this approach avoids extra costs tied to the earlier concept, such as tunnel safety work and grade crossing upgrades, and it accelerates the launch of Amtrak Virginia service to Christiansburg, Radford University, and Virginia Tech. Bottom line, groundwork's in, the structure's coming up, and the rider-facing pieces, rails, and platforms are on deck. The NRV is getting closer to real, reliable passenger service. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time, stay safe, train hard, and keep the good vibes rolling. Peace.